Alright guys, we're back on Lucille. This is going to be part 2 of getting the tune dialed in. I'm going to show y'all how to check and see if she's ready for the next steps in tuning. And that's basically, you're going to spend most of your time tuning the fuel table. You need to make sure the fuel table is dialed in before you go and tune anything else. And today we're going to see if the fuel table is right before we go in and start tuning all the other parameters. So you need to make sure your engine is mechanically sound and your wiring is good before you even start tuning, because if it's not, you're just going to be chasing your tail all the time. And the proper way to tune is to tune the whole power band. You know, you do that on a dyno tune. You really can't do it on the street. So you make sure your street tune or your bass tune is good. Make sure everything is mechanically sound. Your wiring is good. So when you put it on the dyno to tune the whole power band, you won't have any issues. You won't be chasing your tail. All right, we got the software pulled up. I'm gonna open up the file. And you know, the first thing you do when you get your system hooked up is you're gonna run through the wizard on your handheld, and that's gonna create you a bass calibration. And it's just basically gonna ask you the number of cylinders, your the engine displacement, your ignition type, and stuff like that. And that's gonna generate you a bass calibration. And one thing that it does do, it over-enriches the fuel table a little bit to keep you safe. You know, when you go lean, you have chances of detonation and destroying the engine. So it is going to be on a little rich side. So the first thing I do, I come in and I come over here to the ECU parameters, and I make sure all this is correct. Your number of cylinders, engine displacement, the fuel type. You can run E85. Just make sure everything, your load sensing. I'm gonna show y'all that, because you get to pick which one you want. But all the ones I've done research, most people use V based and speed density. When I first did my calibration, I used speed density. One thing with speed density is your fueling is gonna change with the weather. So that's why I went with VE based. But that's some stuff y'all can do some research on and pick which one you want. But I recommend volumetric efficiency. And after that, first thing I would do is build me a timing table. When you first get it, it ain't set to 2D, so you don't have this whole table. It's just set to 1D, which basically I'm gonna show you up here. You go to simple, and it's basically just gonna give you those three. You'll have your idle, cruise, and wide open throttle. But you spent so much on this system that you need to use the whole table. So if you go to 2D, it's basically using this whole timing table. So go over to Holley YouTube channel, and they got a video of how to build a spark table. And I think they did it with the sniper, but it applies to all the ECUs. And just do your research on what ignition time of your engine like, and build your table off of that. And once you get that done, you'll go back over there to your fuel table. And this is what you're going to spend 85–90% of your time tuning the fuel table. And you want to go down to your target AFR. And I'm going to put a picture up to help y'all get started on building the AFR table. What this does is the learn table, or the short-term fuel trim, is basically adjusting the fuel for your base fuel table to hit this specific AFR. So your oxygen sensor is reading your exhaust gas, and the learn table is looking at that, and it's adjusting your fuel so your fuel can hit the target AFR for the base table. So it all works in conjunction. So basically, whatever number you got plugged in your target AFR table, your learn table, or a short-term fuel trim, like I like to call it, is adjusting the fuel to hit that target AFR for your base fuel table. It all works in conjunction. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time tuning. And you need to have your base fuel table dialed in, all the way in, before you go and tune other stuff like acceleration, enrichment, and stuff. And that's the stuff I'm getting into tuning now. And I'm going to show y'all how to see if your base fuel table is dialed in. But if you come up here, you can see all your ICFs. What they call is individual config files. You got your fuel ICF, which is an injector, your sensors, which looks like a map sensor, your system, which is the Holley ECU. You got your idle, spark, inputs and outputs, your advanced where you can build advanced tables and stuff. And if you want to add some, you go up here to toolbox, individual config, and they have all the ones that they got. Boost. I can't add boost because I'm on a 1-bar map sensor. I think you need a 2-bar map sensor or better to add that one. I already got fuel. I already got idle, IO. I don't have nitrous. I can add that one. We're just going to hit it and hit open down here. And then it's going to go to default. You're going to hit that and hit open. And you see it added a nitrous ICF up here. And with the Terminator, you can run wet or progressive nitrous. So that's a plus. Go back up here, see if it's any more. Add individual config. I had it nitrous. I got sensors. And I don't have the Terminator X Max. So if you have the X Max, you'll have transmission. Let me add traction. And I think in the new update, they added this. When I first got it, they didn't have a option for traction control. You had to use an advanced table to do it. But now as up there, you can see it got traction. And that's what's good about the Holley ECU is modular and upgradable. So you see I got it now running a 455 O's. Down the road, if I want to put an LS in, I can put an LS in. If I want to put a Hemi in there, I can put a Hemi, a Coyote. Any engine, the Terminator basically can run it. So let's go down. I'm going to show you, see if my fuel table, show you how to see if my fuel table is dialed in so we can get to the next steps of tuning. So over here, I'm going to go back to the fuel. I'm going to go down until I see closed loop learn. If y'all watched the other tuning video, I briefly spoke about the closed loop. And all closed loop is the oxygen sensor monitoring the air fuel mixture to automatically adjust to hit that target AFR. And if you usually it's set in the system when you first get it to once it get up to 160, it'll start going in a closed loop and adjusting the fuel trim for you. But if you in the open loop, it's running basically off the fuel, the base fuel table. So wherever you at in this map, if you at 2450 RPM at 61 kPa, that's how much fuel it's gonna be giving it. If you got your closed loop off, and that's what basically what I'm about to do now is disable the closed loop, so we can see how dialed in she is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here, closed loop learn. I'm gonna disable it. And what that does is the system is just basically going to be running off my base fuel table. It's not going to be adjusting anything. So this is what's going to let me know if it's dialed in or not. All right, we back out on Lucille. Let's take her for a spin and see what she does with closed loop disabled. See if the fuel table dialed in. I did my pre-drive inspection, checked my fluids. Came back here, checked my PDM, checked all my fuses. Know with the old schools, you gotta make sure everything is good before you take off. So I just came and checked all my fuses and stuff, make sure nothing was blowed. Let's see. Yeah. It's 37 and sunny out. Yeah, Huntsville. Pretty cold to me. So let's do a cold start on her. Yeah, she's at 36 degrees, 35 degrees right now. Yeah, we gotta tune that cold start. So hopefully my fuel table dialed in, I can go on and start dialing that in too. Gonna let her warm up. Let's turn this heat on. basically with the closed loop disabled, she's just gonna be running off the base fuel table the whole time in open loop. I had to go get some gas. Go get some good old 93. She should run pretty good, but this the end goal right here, turning off your closed loop and just letting it run off the base table. That's how you know you got it dialed in, and that's how you gonna want to run her once you get everything dialed in and stuff. So if your O2 sensor go out and stuff, it's not making any adjustments or anything because you got it disabled. Yeah, but I see a lot of guys got LS swaps and stuff, and they still running the stock ECU. You know, you could go with a Holley, you will see a major difference. Because with the stock ECU, you basically fighting the emissions control unit. That's what I like to call them. They still the ECU and stuff, and you can still get the job done. But you know, with a Holley and these aftermarket ECUs, they made for one thing, and that's to go fast and support the aftermarket swaps and stuff. Stock ECU, you gotta jump through so many hurdles to get to the point where you're trying to get at with your swap and stuff. But if I was doing like a LS swap or something like that, I'd go with a Holley. If I was doing an import, I'd probably do a Haltech. If I was building like an all-out race car, I'd go with Fuel Tech or a Holley Dominator. But the Terminator X and X Max, they perfect for like your everyday swaps and stuff. Guys like you and me that just, you know, just do it for a hobby, do it on the weekend and stuff. Yeah, she's starting to heat up now. Let it get to about 160. We'll go up there and get some 93, and then we're gonna take a little ride, see what she does. If she do good and stuff, I'm gonna enable the closed loop one more time, and I'm gonna dial all my numbers back except for like high in the power band, like 4,000 RPM and above. And then I start tuning my acceleration enrichment, dialing in the temperature enrichment, and tuning the code starting and stuff. So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all want to see all those videos and stuff. I know this tuning stuff can be kind of boring for the guys that's not doing it or have a Holley and stuff, but it's helpful down the road if you're gonna get into one or something. And most guys don't like to show the tuning and stuff. It's like they think you're gonna take their livelihood or something, but for the guys like they're just trying to get their car up and running, they should show the basics and stuff. Once you get up to about 160, that's when we'll take off and head to the store. But make sure y'all dial y'all idle in. Cause y'all know with any car for real, when you start it up, it's gonna idle high, and as it warms up, it's gonna idle down. So I got mine set to like 1,035 when it first crank up cold start, and as it warms up, it goes down about 680. So it'll idle right at like 700, all the way warmed up. And then like if I'm driving, it'll be like right at 650 and drive. it's like the Oldsmobile Light. You gotta really research your engine and see what it likes at idle and stuff. But yeah, the heat blowing good now. It's about 143. Let's check out the AFR. See, that's the target AFR I got set in my my target AFR table, and the left is the actual what's the O2 sensor reading. It's pretty close. That's what we basically got to keep our eye on, and the closed loop compensation right there. You want to get that close to zero as possible. I think in the manual it say plus or minus 5 is acceptable. Now the RPM is like about 750. It's going down. She ain't go past 177. Let's go check out the engine bay. We got any leaks or anything? I love the sound of an Oldsmobile. Big block, no whammies.